नमस्कार। आप सभी लोगों का फोरहा टॉक में स्वागत है। और आज हमारे साथ हैं हमारे मित्र संदीप जैन जी, जो कि गुवाहाटी से हैं, बेसिकली जो म्यांमार से बहुत ही पास है। आज हम उनसे बात करने वाले हैं कि जो अभी भारत का बजट आया है, इससे हम एनआरआई और पीआईओ पे क्या फर्क पड़ता है और हमारे लिए इन्वेस्टमेंट की क्या क्या और कहाँ कहाँ अपॉर्चुनिटी है। तो पहले तो जैन साहब, जो ये बजट आया है इसके बारे में इसकी एक आप सारांश में बताइए कि ये किसके लिए अच्छा है, किसके लिए और अच्छा हो सकता है और किसके लिए ये खराब है। तो आप, ओवर टू यू सर।
या फर्स्ट ऑफ ऑल थैंक यू सो मच रविंद्र जी। लास्ट टाइम भी जब मैं ये सेमिनार आपके साथ इस प्लेटफॉर्म पे किया था, दैट वाज, इफ आई कैन रिमेंबर इट राइट, दैट वाज नवंबर 2020 नवंबर 2020। और उसके बाद काफी लोग इंटरेक्शन में आए और काफी लोगों को अच्छा भी लगा था। और उस टाइम में और आज में हमारे में भी थोड़ा बहुत बड़ा फर्क आया है इन टर्म्स ऑफ वी आर मैनेजिंग वेल्थ, वी आर मैनेजिंग पीएमएस। अभी हम लोग का पीएमएस बहुत अच्छा कर रहे हैं, एनआरआईज लोग काफी आ रहे हैं उसमें। और दूसरा, इंडिया में ये चीज क्लियर हो गई कि स्मॉल कैप्स और मिड कैप्स चले हैं पिछले 4 सालों में। अभी थोड़ा सा मिड कैप्स एंड स्मॉल कैप्स आर नॉट डूइंग वेल बिकॉज ऑफ द वैल्यूएशन डिफरेंसेस, बट येट वी फील दैट कि जो माहौल बना हो रहा है। एक और चीज मुझे अच्छी लगी, आपने मुझे गुवाहाटी से बोला कि गुवाहाटी और बर्मा में बहुत फर्क नहीं है, एंड इम्फाल एंड मणिपुर इज वेरी क्लोज। सो आई वुड लाइक टू नो द ऑडियंस जो अपनी होने वाली है यहाँ पे। सो बेसिकली दे आर ऑल फ्रॉम बर्मा और साउथ ईस्ट एशियन नेशंस और वॉल।
मैंने इसको, हमारा गोपियो इंटरनेशनल है उसमें भी शेयर किया गया है। तो जिन लोगों का टाइम अभी सूट नहीं करेगा वो हो सकता बाहर से देखे, जैसे ऑस्ट्रेलिया, इंग्लैंड, सब जगह, कनाडा, बिकॉज गोपियो इंटरनेशनल हर जगह। ग्लोबल ऑर्गेनाइजेशन ऑफ पीपल ऑफ इंडिया, जो अभी ये प्रवासी भारतीय दिवस, ओसीआई कार्ड है, ये सब इसी के कारण दिए गए हैं।
ओह अच्छा, नाइस नाइस। तो कितने मेंबर्स है इसमें सब?
इसका मैं म्यांमार गोपियों का प्रेसिडेंट हूं और इसके 26 चैप्टर है। अभी जब ये भुवनेश्वर में जो प्रोग्राम हुआ था, वहां प्रधानमंत्री और राष्ट्रपति जी आए थे अपने म्यांमार से। डॉक्टर रामनिवास जी हैं, उनको भी प्रवासी भारतीय अवार्ड मिला है, जो कि सबसे बड़ा अवार्ड होता है एक प्रवासी भारतीय के लिए।
हाँ हाँ हाँ, तो म्यांमार गए हूँ।
तो यहाँ बहुत सारे लोग हैं। इंडिया, म्यांमार में अकेले ही लगभग 2 मिलियन इंडियन ओरिजिन के लोग हैं। तो इसलिए हम लोग बहुत ज्यादातर बात,
हेलो,
अभी भी देखेंगे। और बहुत सारे लोग जब अभी यूट्यूब,
ठीक है, अपन ने भी स्ट्रीम कर दिया है, बट एनीवेज आई थिंक आवाज आ रही है आपको?
हेलो,
या नेटवर्क वीक कहाँ पे है, मेरी तरफ से या
इसमें अभी बहुत सारे लोग हैं डिफरेंट। हाँ, यहाँ थोड़ा इश्यू हो गया था म्यांमार में, ये सब थोड़ी थोड़ी चीजें चलती रहती है, इंटरनेट और ये सब। अभी भी हम लोग जनरेटर से प्रोग्राम कर रहे हैं।
Oh. But anyways, I think we'll make it shorter and faster also. So let's come back to the point. So the question you asked was that, just some highlights of the budget and for whom it is beneficial. So this budget was a great budget. We must appreciate one big thing which has happened in this budget is the income tax rate cut, income tax slabs. So it has been increased from 7 lakhs to 12 lakhs, and it is a very big step. And if you remember, September 20th, 2019, corporate taxes were slashed very drastically, and that had a very big impact in the Indian corporate scene and the whole formalization of Indian economy. So same thing has happened now also, that 12 lakhs per annum, 12 lakhs rupees, I'm talking about Indian rupees. So you have to convert accordingly. But then I feel that everyone has their own family members, so you must be aware of the conversions also. But somehow 12 lakhs per person, and everyone has a family, one HUF. So it's a very big change. And then 1 lakh crore rupees of taxes have actually been lost by the government. But at the same time, if you see the multiplier effect, and if you will see the consumption benefit in the economy, it will give a very big boost to the consumption, overall consumption, like, two-wheelers, four-wheelers, or some, not that staple consumption is always there, but discretionary consumption will certainly get a big boost. Tourism will get a big boost. Things which are being bought by EMIs, bought by, loans, they will get a very big boost. So this was a very big step. And somehow, because of the global cues not being positive, the markets have not reacted the way it should have reacted. I think the markets would have gone very fast, very high. In fact, the technically markets were weak. Globally, the cues were not in favor of India. Then after the announcement, the tariffs have started being, getting announced. So all those things have actually nullified the positive impact of that particular big move being, taken by the finance minister this time. But yet, I think, fingers crossed, once things get settled down, and I think this will also bring a very big formalization to the Indian economy. The way, that corporate tax cut brought lots of formalization in the Indian corporate scene. So now we'll see lots of people, in coming, spending, and the GST collections will go up. So all those things will happen. But anyways, this was one big move. Number two, and I will again come to the moves which are relevant for NRIs. And there are so many steps being taken this time for, you can say, fiscal transparency and, international tax norms. So I think we'll come to that also, but I will just answer a global answer for your question. So the economy, the budget was a very good budget somehow. If I have to score it, it will be around, 8 on 10. And I spoke to some experts. They are very bullish about the budget. Then we have seen some major changes in infrastructure also. Infra push has already been given, and this time this budget was the fourth budget in a way in 12 months. First February, it was an interim budget. Then there was a budget. So this budget, third budget, sorry, not fourth, third budget. So then the budget was post-election. That was also full budget. Now it is a full budget. So last time they announced about the capex, that infrastructure spending in the economy, that's around 11.11 lakh crore, which was also a very big figure. And this time, the election year was there in India, so the spending was not being met. The targets were not being met. So it was around 10.4 lakh crore. So now they have increased again another 10% on that. So somehow these two big steps were there, and then we see many more steps, and I feel it is good for, last time there were many, in fact, big moves being taken, but this time the speech was also for an hour, not for the whole, 2-hour speech, but lots of good steps were taken. So I think we'll come down to the NRIs, because I think NRIs, we are talking amongst the NRIs, so I think they be more relevant to talk more about NRIs, I think. What do you say, Ravindra ji? Kya bolte hain aap?
Yeah, this is program mostly will be seen by the NRI. So please speak what will be the benefit for NRI and PIO, which are our mostly viewers and which will going to see our talk
So
in
first
coming
time,
today as well as in coming.
I got it. I got it. So there are many NRIs or PIOs who might not be aware of the investment opportunities in the Indian markets. They must be knowing that, Indian markets are doing well, Indian economy is doing well, but how they can participate in Indian markets, will just give a brief. NRIs can invest in India, PIOs can invest in India. They can invest in dated government securities. They can invest in domestic mutual funds. They can invest in PSU bonds. They can invest in the disinvestments of PSUs. Then they can invest in debentures also. And NRIs can invest in all these Indian securities, above mentioned Indian securities, through non-PIS account. And NRIs have to maintain two separate trading accounts. That is, one is NRE account and one is NRO account. NRE account has lots of compliances, but NRO is a lesser compliant and a better and a more popular way of investing in India, because we have many clients coming in PMS. So generally, many of the PMSs in India are not opening up NRE accounts, but we are doing NRO accounts only. Same is the case with us also, because maintaining an NRE account, there are many reporting structures and many compliances which have to be met. So somehow NRO has become very popular. So NRO account. So basically, you can invest to an NRO account, to make it very simple. and you can invest in even PMSs, you can invest in mutual funds, you can invest in bonds, you can invest in PSU debentures. So everything is accessible, and even NROs can trade in FNO also somehow. But NRE accounts cannot trade in FNO. And somehow I'll suggest not to trade in FNO unnecessarily. So these are the things. And you have to open a
Okay.
PIS account, and through that, OCI, PIO, NRIs generally
Okay.
open up
So now
NRIs.
my next Yeah, my next question is this, like, but some people have those are already have invested and market has gone down in last 1 or 2 months. What they should do, because now that March is coming. So suppose they have made it some profit 20 lakh, and now they are making a loss of another 20 lakh. So what they should do, if they will going to keep it this stock, they have to pay income tax. Actually, they are not making any profit, but because they have made profit, and now if they sell all stock and today, they will going to make a profit on paper, but actually they are making loss. What is your suggestion in this case?
I'm not getting a
Like,
question. See,
no,
if
like what
I'll
I'm
ask you, see,
telling, yeah, what I'm telling, like in this financial year till today, I made a 15 lakh rupee profit while selling the shares. But
uh,
overall, if I take my portfolio today, I make losing
ah,
another 17 lakh.
so
So what
what you
should
do
I do?
is,
Should I sell it and make it zero?
yes, you should do that, very frankly. If you have to save on taxes, because you have booked profits, and on booked profits you have to pay taxes, but there are unbooked losses,
Yeah.
like you have a portfolio and where you have unbooked losses or notional losses. So if you sell the stocks where you have losses, so you can manage that, profit and loss. So somehow everyone is doing this here also. We have seen this, and in the last 1.5 months, generally February to March, everyone does this. But yes, so you can also do that. But yet, I feel that, and if you have to sell those stocks where you have losses and have to buy new stocks, please buy fundamentally strong stocks and large caps. Somehow we feel that, this time large caps
Okay.
should be a part of portfolio. They will do well in coming months. And Indian markets were being told to be expensive, were being assumed to be expensive, but now I don't think they're expensive, because in the recent past, in last 3 4 months, markets have corrected, and they've corrected to a level where, the GDP to market cap ratio has become, reasonable. Even the P multiples of the index, Nifty or Sensex, have become reasonable. But yes, small cap and mid cap are yet looking expensive. But somehow for me, I always love small cap and mid cap. So for me, I am more of a stock specific person, and I always get into the stocks which are attractive on all the fronts. That's why we come up with Gems Aapke Gems ideas also. So the market is
Yeah, yeah.
around 8,000 stocks, but we always, have to buy only 20 25 stocks. So if you are very strongly sector specific and stock specific, you can always make money. And if your horizon is longer time frame, because in every 2 to 3 years it happens that, small caps move very fast and they become expensive as compared to their other indices like small cap and mid cap and large cap. But there is a time also when they will correct, and they will give a time bound correction, time wise correction, and large caps will start going up. So this is the trend which we feel, which our team at TradeSwift, research team at TradeSwift, feels that large cap can go up, and somehow small cap can give a time wise correction. So if you have to shuffle your portfolio, please switch to larger caps. Like, there are some good banks. I think bank Nifty should do well. I think larger companies will do well. FMCG sector, the budget was particularly very, very favorable for FMCG, because it is a big boost to the consumption. Auto sector can do well. Telecom, there were some norms related to telecom sector also announcement. So all these sectors will do well. So I think, and infra also, though the allocation was not enhanced, but somehow infra stocks will do well in the near future. So, the likes of L&Ts and all these companies can be explored. Yeah.
Okay, one of my friend, Mr. Vatsal Lilani, is asking why this budget is silent on privatization. There is not any announcement of anything on privatization. What is your opinion? Because the privatization is not happening in like reforms, you can say, in like agriculture reform, labor reform, which is not happening. So that's the reason our economy is not growing which way it should be growing. So what is your opinion?
Privatization, they have been doing it. They have been disinvesting rather than privatization or strategic sale of PSUs. Somehow, recently, the government has understood that all these PSUs are very trading very cheap. Somehow, in last 1 year or 1.5 years, PSU started doing well, and they started coming up to the valuations which they were not being given by the markets in last 10 to 15 years. So the government understood that we should not sell our family jewel, the silver jewelry, unnecessarily to the private sector at cheaper prices. So now, since the markets were buoyant and the PSU stocks also went up, so they came up with disinvestment in the form of privatization in the form of disinvestment. They had some strategic sale being planned also. So now they are working on disinvestments and monetization of the PSU assets. So they will not unnecessarily sell their companies, PSU companies, at cheaper prices, because lots of the companies being sold in the past, the government has realized that unnecessarily they were being sold at cheaper prices, or the potential price was not being realized. So now they have increased the efficiency of the management. More autonomy is being given to the management of the PSUs. So there are Maharatnas, Mini Ratnas, Navratnas, lots of Ratnas are there, and lots of these companies are doing very well now. Defense sector companies are doing very well. In fact, now the Make in India theme is being led by the defense sector, and we see the companies like HAL, BL, they become so big, and Indian defense sector is going to be a net exporter to the world now. So I think PSUs are doing well. OMCs will do well. OMC PSUs like HPCL, BPCL, and all. Some PSU banks will now start will do well, because this consumption boost and the rural sector will get better. So this sector will also do well. So overall, PSUs, yes, privatization of IDBI Bank was in fact awaited, and lots of some of these assets were being awaited. But let's see. But I think government is trying to meet their targets through disinvestments and uh, monetization of the assets. Like they've announced 6 lakhs crores of monetization of their PSU assets. And they have demerged also. They have demerged the assets of the companies. They have demerged the work of the into two entities where assets are being demerged into a separate entity.
Okay, now my next question is, like you say, you have a lot of NRI or PIO client in PMS. Can you explain this more about for our viewer, what your company TradeSwift is offering services for NRI and PIO, how they can contact, and what will be your returns, and just explain what you are offering for us. So like if someone is doing trading by themselves, why they should join with you, what is
I
the
think
benefit?
trading, yeah, I got your point, and thank you so much for this question. First of all, I won't say that we are ye, wo, ye, but what I'll suggest is if a person has to approach the market, and if a person is sitting outside India and has a different time zone or has his own profession, he cannot track the markets on a regular basis and on a constant basis. Or even if he can track, he will not do it very efficiently, because it is not his full-time job. So we feel that you should
Yeah.
approach the markets either through mutual funds or ETFs. If your budget, say if
Okay.
your savings are say 10 lakhs, 15 lakhs, or 20 lakhs, or lesser than 50 lakhs, you should explore mutual funds, or at least you should start an SIP of mutual funds. That's very important for everyone. And now the time is very good that you can put a lump sum amount also. Like if you have said 20 lakhs, you can invest 5 to 7 lakhs, 10 lakhs immediately. Then again, if the market falls from here, say 5 to 7%, you can give your second tranche, invest your second tranche. So we are suggesting uh, staggered manner, investing in staggered manner. So same way, I think mutual funds and ETFs will meet the needs of the retail investors. But when it comes to PMS, out here there is a limit that it has the minimum cap is 50 lakhs. So you have to invest 50 lakhs minimum. So that is where lots of people, investors get filtered out. So if you have 50 lakhs, or if you have equities, investments in equities and mutual funds combined, if it is 50 lakhs, you can invest here by liquidating them and invest in PMS. Or if you have a higher portfolio, say you have an investing portfolio of say 1 crore, so you can dilute your stocks or you can transfer those stocks. We will manage them accordingly, and we have our own theme of PMS, that is multi-asset. We are investing in gold and silver also. We are investing in golds also. It's a kind of 360-degree approach to investing in capital markets of India. So we are doing multi-asset category and flexi cap. So now we are working more on large cap investing. Till now we were investing in small caps and mid caps. So now we will talk about large caps. We will invest in large caps. So this is how we have bifurcated our portfolio. So 40-50% is in small caps. So 30-40% will be in mid cap. 30-40% is in the large cap. So this way we have diversified. And so basically it is multi-asset, flexi cap, and then there is a part of portfolio which is core, and there is a part which is satellite. So core portfolio generally we don't touch unnecessarily unless something big has happened to the market or something big has happened to the company. And satellite portfolio is a kind of trading portfolio. So generally the ratio there is 70-30. 70% is the core portfolio, 30% is the satellite portfolio. So this is the way we are doing investing in PMS. And we were number 1 in multi-asset category in November month. December month we were number 2 in the country. August month we were number 1 again. So every month we have some ranking on some criteria, like 6 months basis. So basically robust returns are being seen on 6 months basis. So since inception, our returns till January, it was till December, because January month is yet to be announced by 10th or 11th of March, January, by the APME, Association of PMS Managers of India, is the association. Like MP monitors, regulates mutual funds. So APME is for PMS. So APME data comes on 10th of every month. So January month has not been yet disclosed, but till December we were number 2 and our return was around 41%. 31% was our return in 8 months.
PMS.
Yeah, and if you categorize it to annualize it, that will be around 41 or 42%. But this month we are also suffering. Markets have gone down. So sorry.
So we need minimum investment of 50 lakh to invest in PMS, more than 50 lakh.
Yes, 50 lakhs minimum. And then you can.
So how it is going to?
Then you can do an SIP also. This.
Okay, so how, like this 50 lakh, what is the process? Like this money will remain in my account or it will go in your account?
In your account. We open an account with a custody. Custodial services companies are big companies. And then we open a demat account again in some other company, even a broking account in other company. We are just the manager. Though we are ourselves a broker, but for Chinese wall policy, for proper bifurcation and proper transparency, we are doing it somewhere else. Somewhere else means like Orbis is the company who is the custodial services provider. They are our custodians. Then we open a demat account with say Kotak or different banks or different broking houses we have collaborated with, and we are PMS managers. So the demat account will be in your name, but the demat account will be given a POA to the fund manager. You cannot do anything in that. And it is highly regulated by SEBI.
So this will be like you are only selling and buying, but that money will come in my account and go from my account. Like suppose today I buy 10 lakhs rupees share, I buy it, so that 10 lakh go from my bank account. And
no, you have to pay us 50 lakhs at one go. Then that money will go to the custodian, and we will buy securities which will go to the demat account, and custodian will pay to the exchange that way. So it is very foolproof, and we must salute our regulators. SEBI has been doing a phenomenal job in protecting retailers' money, and it is very very highly regulated, and we have to be very very compliant and vigilant at every point of time. Whatever stock we buy, we have to give a buy note. Whatever we sell, we have to give a sell note. So any of the decisions cannot be taken that way.
Okay.
So they have to be maintained. Record has to be maintained.
Okay, so this scheme, maybe our lot of friend they may would like to invest 50 lakh is not like now the rupee is day by day is going to weakening. So it's now rupee like previously 89 lakh used to be a now 100 lakh dollar become 89 lakh rupee. So it's a really in a good way if someone is making money in dollar or any foreign currency.
Yeah, yeah.
So
Now
my
you can buy more
yeah,
at the
yeah,
higher
yeah.
prices. Yeah, right.
Yes. Next,
That's
my
why we
question.
have got many clients from Dubai and Bahrain, Oman, and all these places, Middle East. Yeah.
Okay, next, my question. What is your lookout where you see rupee is going to stabilize or it is going to touch 90? What is among your community? What is the they are thinking where it is going?
See, somehow I feel that rupee will further weaken. Rupee, if you see the REER, that is real effective exchange rate, rupee is yet to depreciate, and I feel uh, the way dollar index is going up, the way Donald Trump has started imposing tariffs and all. So I think dollar will strengthen more. So I think it can go down to even 90 to 95 levels. So it can settle down somewhere around 92, 93 levels. So let's see, fingers crossed. But this has been very very fast, and if you adjust all the inflation of these last few years, because dollar was hovering around 82 to 84 rupees for last
Okay.
2 3 years, and suddenly
Yeah.
it was given a breakdown below 84, so it has very sharply gone down to 87, and it happens every 7 8 years once. This kind of sharp fall in rupee happens.
Okay, our my very good friend, Mr. Siv Dhanuka, is asking whether there is a chances RBI will reduce interest rate and what will be the impact on market.
Yeah, yeah, they might. This time, many of the institutions, broking houses, even we at our research with our research team are expecting a rate cut. This time, they should come up with a,
0.25 or 0.5.
let's say 0.25 will also suffice. Point 0.5
Okay.
will be too much of expecting, because somehow inflation has not come down. But yet, and they have also doled out uh, the tax benefits also. So, but that is again, the benefits will come next year. But I think they can come up with at least 25 basis points of rate cut in this budget. And this is the budget, sorry, in this credit policy. And this is the first credit policy of the new governor.
My next question is this. If someone want to invest, just imagine 50 lakh rupee for 10-year horizon, what is your recommendation where he should invest? PMS is one very good idea. If that is not what they should do.
Somehow one should invest in large caps, because you are sitting abroad, and small caps and mid caps may be a tougher nut to crack, in terms of doing proper research. Though we on Z Business or other channels are also doing research, and Gen Saab ke gems you can always watch, and you can
Yeah,
watch
yeah.
these recommendations also, and there are many other panelists who are doing well. But all those things are there, but yet I feel that you should be invested more in large caps, companies like TCS or Infosys, ICICI Bank or HDFC Bank, ITC for that matter, or L&T for that matter, or SBI in PSU banks. So Nestle, HUL, you can compare, take one of them. Nestle, I really like Nestle. In capital goods, you can look for ABB. So all those big companies, historically, they have been doing businesses in generations, and which are professionally managed. And then we are very bullish on the market infrastructure institutions like BSE or CDSL or MCX. But I will give a disclaimer also that two of the stocks like MCX and CDSL are there in our PMS also portfolio also.
Yeah, that is favorite to you also or Mr. Anil
Yeah, it
Singhvi.
has been, it has been actually, I have been recommending these stocks since long. In fact, 2019, I have been recommending CDSL and BSE. I recommended first on 1st of April 2020. After the Corona, it was the first Ram Navami. So on that day, as a Navami peak, I recommended BSE, which was just 220 rupees. So since then, we have seen it's a multi-bagger now.
Yeah, because CDSL and this stock is going to grow because number of this demat account which
Yeah,
India is
yeah,
opening, so they are directly proportional of that.
right.
Because they you make money or lose money, they will make money.
Yeah, yeah, you are right. They will always make money. Yeah. So
Yeah, yeah.
CDSL, NSDL IPO is also going to come in near future. So CDSL will always be in that, news. So I think, MCX, again, the biggest commodity exchange, and it is very difficult for other exchanges to, get liquidity on commodity front. So commodities, MCX is doing well, BSE is again doing well, NSE IPO is going to come. So all those things are there. And then some infra companies, I've already mentioned about L&T, and then good pharma companies, like say Pfizer or Abbott. So you can buy them also. So
What
they have
about your opinion about Indian pharma company like Cipla, Glenmark, Cadila, Zydus, Cadila, and other big
Zydus is a
top
good
companies?
company. Zydus is a good company. IPCA is a good company, IPCA Labs. That, somehow, when you talk about say 30 years or 50 years or very long term, so we have to talk about companies who have shown generations and who are professionally managed. Lots of times, family managed businesses lose relevance in this context. While coming
Okay.
for the interview, I was sitting with one of my partners and one of my company secretaries. So he also asked me the same question. Now, if I have to invest say, for 30 years, which stocks should we invest? So we had our own set of arguments, and which really helps in, provoking thoughts. So somehow I feel that, you should always stick to some professionally managed companies when you talk about bigger or longer time frame. So you're right. Indian pharma companies, Cipla can be a good bet. Lupin has been doing well. Dr. Reddy is a great company. Sun Pharma is a great company, again a multinational. So all these companies in pharma will do well because dollar is getting expensive, and exports business they are into. So I think pharma will always be a good hedge against, depreciating rupee. So IT, pharma, FMCG, market infrastructure, capital goods, some infra companies like L&T, then some defense bets like, I think GRSC and Masgaon Dock. They are not listed on FNO and they are big companies. So these two companies, I really love them. So in defense, you can work on them. In railways, we can work on, say, IRFC. So in finance company will always be there for Indian Railways. So out there also. And then some power companies like Power Grid. So they are a great, PSU companies. So these are the companies which we are focusing on. Then in mining companies, we focus on NMDC, so mining and metals. So pure metal play, say better hai ki you invest in NMDC. So NMDC is again a great play. So even
Uh,
in, upstream oil and marketing, oil, gas and companies. So you can work on ONGC and Oil India. Oil India is a great company. So downstream OMCs are there, say HPCL and BPCL, you can buy one of them. So this way you can make a portfolio of say 10 to 15 stocks.
Okay, my another question, whenever I see you in G business, you are not very good fond of this Paytm, Zomato, all these company. I never
Okay.
find you recommending anything.
Oh,
Why
wow.
like this?
No, no, actually, see, somehow I always believe in valuations. And in the recent past, I have been recommending Zomato. It's not that I have neglected Zomato because in the past, some of us a bit skeptic about the loss-making balance sheets. And these platform
Okay.
businesses do well, but then they have big competitors outside the listed space also. Suppose Swiggy is
Yeah.
there, Zepto is there. Many of these companies are coming up as competitors against their product service called Blinkit. So even DMart will come up, Reliance will come up. Say many of these retail stores, they are coming up with these ideas. So I think Amazon has actually announced. So there is a fierce competition in this sector also
Yeah,
from
yeah.
the 100 startups and unlisted big companies. So it's very easy to disrupt things, in these space. So that's why I'm always a
Yeah.
bit skeptic about, these companies. But yes, I always recommended that, you buy all these platforms totaling to 5% of your total portfolio. So if you
Okay.
buy
Not more
five,
than.
this thing, yeah, not more than that. So five stocks, 5% of your portfolio comprises 1% each. So even if one play out and one works out, so that was Zomato this time. So I think the rest will be free, and it happened. Zomato went up 5 times, 5x. So rest were free, and now I think other stocks have also started doing well.
Yeah.
So good that you track me so much. I really appreciate your, tracking and
Yeah, because I track because I have my medical tourism company, so we are the
oh wow,
franchisee for Apollo, Medanta, and other Indian hospital. So our company provide air ambulance services, emergency medicines, and now
wow.
so we are in very different type of business. And now my son is come back from Canada, so hopefully we will going to expand. And that is
So
a very
now
niche business.
heal, heal in India. This
Yeah, yeah,
in this
heal in
budget,
India.
the way Bed in India was announced. So in this budget, Heal in India is announced. So the
Yeah.
government is very, very focused on Heal in India, medical tourism. They will develop medical tourism. I've seen many of these examples. If you go to the big hospitals, big chain of hospitals, you will always see foreigners, there.
Yeah,
I
yeah,
have one of my relatives coming from US, and she got her operation done in India. It was so cheap for them, coming
yeah,
all
yeah.
the way from US, going and coming, tickets, all the expenses, everything was lesser than, 50% lesser than the actual cost in US. So India
Yeah,
is
it
going
is
to
not
do
only the cost. When my elder
quality
son live in
also.
Canada, because in Canada, if you want to do a surgery, there is a waiting for 6 months to 1 year
Yeah,
for knee replacement. So that is a more big problem because they have mostly
outside.
everybody have insurance. So they want to, especially those are people like NRI, like my parents or their children, though are Indian origin, they are coming from this country because the cost of medical treatment in US and Canada or any developed country is just more than at 8 to 10 times.
Yeah, yeah, it to 10.
Just yeah, so that is we are in the so Mr. Sandeep, before I will leave you, but just I want to have your 5 top pick for my viewers which you want they should invest for
See,
long term,
somehow these days there is a
means 5 year or 10 year. Any
see, actually, due to compliance, we are not very comfortable recommending stocks these days. Actually, our regulator
okay,
has
no
actually.
problem.
But anyways, I have given you sectors. Somehow I've given you
Yeah, yeah.
hints on pharma companies also, and I've given you private sector banks, and I've given you some OMCs, oil and gas. MII is also market infrastructure. So one can buy from these, and I can always recommend. I always recommend on TV. So had you told me this before, so I would have cross-checked with my compliance team and I would have recommended. So I thought, it's more on
It's okay, no
union
problem.
budget. Yeah, but anyways, I got prepared for this union budget impact on NRIs. So there are two, three
Okay.
provisions, on NRIs.
Yeah.
So now 182 days have been reduced to 120 days for higher income
Yeah.
slabs. So this is a big change.
Okay.
So this is a
Yeah.
stricter tax regime. Then uh, they will do stricter monitoring of income tax earned by students and young professionals. They cannot skip
Okay.
away from this. So these two are the stricter tax regime examples. And there are two new tax provisions also which will make life easier for NRIs, and that is presumptive taxation for non-residents. Like in a particular sector, those who are into electronics manufacturing sector. So NRIs who are in providing services to these sector, because India is actually working big on EMS, so electronic manufacturing services. So there they will allow presumptive tax. So this may not be relevant for everyone who is listening to this video or our telecast. But the second one is very important. tax benefits for capital gains. So now,
Okay.
government has given uh, similar status to NRIs with the resident Indians. So this is
Okay.
again very big. So previously it was 30% for you, the capital gains. So they have rationalized it to the actuals. Like they will be treated as capital gains. So it will be 12.5 and 20%. Short term it is 20%, and long term it will be 12.5 for you. So for NRIs, it has become a very big step, which it will attract investments in India. So for in PMS also, if you invest, so your taxation will be uh, more liberalized this time as compared to the past. So
Oh,
this is the
that's a
tax.
good news.
Yeah, that's a good news. Yeah, that's why I
Another
brought
thing
it.
recently I have read. Yeah, yeah. Thank you very much. Because I have not read it, so I was not aware. Another thing I want to know, recently we have read in newspaper and website that now NRI can open an Indian account. What is the meaning of that? Indian rupee account. What have you read it that? Like previously, currently I have an NRE account and NRO account. So it is
NRO is a
transferring
rupee.
foreign
NRO
currency
account
and
and NRE
NRE
account.
to India to Indian rupee. Yeah, yeah, no. I actually there is a one news which has come out that now NRI can open. Yes, now I come there. What is the this? Suppose Bihar, not in Myanmar, but like someone who is living in Malaysia and Singapore or Dubai, they can open a rupee account in that particular country. That is the news. I don't know what is the implication of that and what is going to be benefited. Like currently, if I'm living in Dubai and I have an account in Dirham and USD, but now you can
I
open
think I'll
account
get
in
into
rupee
this, but
also.
somehow this is again,
Previously, it was
but
not.
this is again somehow, for NRIs, it will be beneficial because that exchange risk will
Yeah,
not be there now. So if they invest in Indian rupees only, so that
yeah,
exchange risk will always be, lesser. And if they have to remit it to their Indian relatives only, if they make money on that investment, and if they have to
yeah.
remit to their Indian relatives, so I think that will be easier. So now, yes, I have now Googled it very frankly.
And
So, yes, NRI can open an account. Both it must be NRE or NRO. NRI ये तो ठीक है. The foreign exchange management account, opening a savings account, ये how to? No, but Purana, yeah, I don't think I will again get back to you on this. But somehow, to my best of my
okay.
knowledge, if this thing happens, at least the currency risk is not there. It will be easier for them to invest in.
Okay, so before we close, I would like to welcome you in Myanmar. Please come with your family. It's a lovely country. Yesterday, like currently, I'm a president of Rotary Club of Yangon. We have a
Thank
charity
you.
gala
Thank you.
dinner.
Thank you so
It's
much for
around
your
attended by
invitation.
300.
I would love to be there, but
Huh?
somehow Manipur is so disturbed. So I've loved to go to Manipur, and then from Manipur, because many of my relatives are there, around 25 relatives staying in Imphal. So I would have loved to go to
Okay.
Imphal, and then I will come to Manipur, Burma also for sure. Whenever I'm there in Manipur, I'll come to Yangon also.
Yeah, if you are coming, then we can organize one program for you. And if
Yeah.
you can come from Calcutta also, it's a now 1 hour flight. We have a direct flight from Calcutta, Delhi, and
चलो
Chennai.
आप कीजिए कुछ. I will be there. Don't worry. I will always be available for you.
Okay.
Always. So जब भी आपका कुछ हो ऐसा रोटरी क्लब का या योर एसोसिएशन गोपीओ, so I'll always be available for you.
Yeah.
Thank you so
Okay.
much.
Thank you, Mr. Jain, for your time. Thank you very much
Thank you.
for your time and your conversation with 4 Hour Talk.
Thank you.
If my any client and my any friend want to take your PMS scheme, I will connect you with them. Okay. Thank you.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Thank you.
Thank
Good
you.
night.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Yeah. Bye-bye. Good night. Take care.
Thank
Bye-bye.
you. Good
Jai
night.
Hind.
Good night.
Jai Hind. Yeah. Bye-bye.
Jai Hind. Jai Hind.
Namaste.
Namaskar.